Welcome to my channel, Everyday English Story. Today I want to ask you something very simple, but also very deep. Do you really know yourself? Do you know your good qualities? The things that make you strong? The habits that make you different from others? And at the same time, do you also know your weak sides? The small things that stop you from moving forward? Many people in life run after success. They say, I want to be rich. I want to be famous. I want to be happy. But real success does not start outside. Real success starts inside. It begins when you understand yourself, when you are honest about your merits and your demerits. In this lesson, I will share with you why your good sides are your greatest tools, and why your weak sides are not really your enemies, but your teachers. Together, we will explore how knowing both sides of yourself can change your life, your learning, and even your English. So stay with me until the end, because I promise you, today, you will discover something new about yourself that maybe you never thought about before. Chapter E. What are merits and demerits? My friends, before we go deeper into this lesson, let us first understand two very important words: merits and demerits. These words may sound a little formal, but they are actually very simple. Merits mean your good qualities. They are the positive points about you. They are the things that make you strong, that make people trust you, and that help you grow in life. For example, if you are honest, that is a merit. If you work hard, that is a merit. If you are kind to others, if you share, if you forgive easily, these are all merits. They are like the light inside you. Now, let us look at the second word: demerits. Demerits are the opposite. They are your weak sides. They are the things that sometimes stop you, that hold you back, or that make life more difficult. They are not only mistakes, but also habits or fears that limit you. For example, if you are lazy, that is a demerit. If you always feel fear and never try, that is a demerit. If you overthink too much and lose time, that is also a demerit. These are the shadows inside you. So, in simple words, merits are your strengths, and demerits are your weaknesses. And every person in the world has both. Nobody is perfect. Some people have more good qualities. Some have more weak qualities. But in the end, all human beings carry both sides. And the secret to success is not to deny them, not to hide them, but to understand them. Now, let me ask you something very important. I want you to pause for just 5 seconds and think, what is one good quality you see in yourself right now? Maybe you are patient. Maybe you are friendly. Maybe you never give up easily. Think about it for a moment. Did you find one? Good. That is your merit. No, and when you know your merit, you can use it like a tool to move forward. But let me also give you another example. Suppose you are lazy. You have ideas, you want to do many things, but you keep delaying. You say, I will do it tomorrow. I will do it next week. That is a demerit. It is not something to be ashamed of, because many people in the world are like that. But it is something you need to know, because if you know it, you can start fighting against it, step by step. You see, knowing both your merits and your demerits is very important. If you only see your good qualities, you may become too proud. You may start thinking, I am already great. I don't need to change. This is dangerous, because then you stop growing. On the other hand, if you only see your bad qualities, you may lose confidence. You may start thinking, I am not good enough. I can never change. And this is also dangerous because then you stop trying. The real wisdom is in balance. You must see both sides together. Let me give you a simple picture. Imagine your life is like a boat. Your merits are the wind that pushes your boat forward. Your demerits are the holes in the boat that can make water come in. If you only look at the wind and ignore the holes, your boat may sink. If you only look at the holes and forget the wind, your boat will never move. But if you take care of both, use the wind and fix the holes, then your boat will travel far, far ahead. Now, let us connect this idea to learning English, because I know many of you are here to improve your language. Your merits in English may be that you listen well, or you have good memory, or you are not afraid to try speaking. These are great strengths, but your demerits may be that you forget words quickly, or you feel shy to speak, or you stop practicing after some days. If you only focus on your good side, you may feel happy, but you will not improve much. If you only focus on your weak side, you may feel sad and lose motivation. But if you understand both sides, you can grow faster. For example, if your merit is that you love stories, you can use that to improve English by reading more stories. If your demerit is that you are shy, you can slowly practice speaking with yourself in front of a mirror, step by step. Your merit will support you and your demerit will become smaller. So, my dear friends, I want you to take this lesson very seriously. Do not think that merits are only for good people and demerits are only for bad people. That is not true. Every person you admire, every successful person, has both merits and demerits. The difference is, they know them. They understand them. They use their merits wisely, and they work on their demerits patiently. Think about your own life again. What are your top 2 merits? Maybe you are hardworking and honest. And what are your top 2 demerits? Maybe you get angry quickly and you are sometimes lazy. Write them down, because when you write them, they become clear. And when they are clear, you can do something about them. Remember this: knowing yourself is the beginning of all wisdom. If you want to grow, if you want to speak English better, if you want to be successful in your studies or in your job, the first step is not outside. It is inside. It is understanding your merits and your demerits. This is why, today, in this first chapter, I wanted to show you the meaning of these 2 simple words, because without them, you cannot truly understand yourself. And when you cannot understand yourself, it becomes very difficult to improve. But when you do, you will find power, you will find clarity, and you will find the courage to change. Chapter R. Why knowing merits is important, my friends. In the last chapter, we learned that merits are our good qualities. They are the strong parts of our character. They are like tools in a small toolbox that we carry every day. Today, I want to show you why these tools are so powerful. When you know your merits, you can choose them and use them. When you don't know them, they sleep inside you and do nothing. Honesty brings trust. When people trust you, doors open. Discipline brings success. When you do small work every day, big results come later. Kindness brings friends. When you are kind, people feel safe around you and they want to help you. These truths are simple, but they are the foundation of a strong life. If you want to be good at English, at study, at business, or at relationships, your merits are the bridge that takes you there. Let me give you a story. There was a student named Adil. He was not the top student in his class. In fact, he felt average. He sometimes forgot vocabulary, and sometimes he spoke slowly. But Adil had 3 merits that he did not see at first. He was honest, he was disciplined, and he was kind. One day, he decided to use these 3 merits on purpose. He told himself, I will be honest in my learning. I will not pretend I understand when I do not. I will ask for help. So he started to ask simple questions in class. He raised his hand and said, Teacher, I did not understand this grammar point. Can you explain again in easy words? Other students were shy to ask, but they felt the same confusion. Because of Adil's honesty, the teacher explained again, and the whole class understood better. People started to trust Adil because he was not pretending. He was real. This trust helped him find good study partners. Then Adil used discipline. He made a small plan. Every day, he would learn only 5 new words, not 50. Just 5. He would read them, write them, and speak them in 2 sentences. He would do this for 10 minutes. Only 10 minutes. He did this for 1 week, then 2 weeks, then 1 month. 10 minutes was easy to do, so he never missed a day. After 3 months, he looked at his notebook. He had learned more than Seabite Wuscher's words. He felt proud, not because he was lucky, but because he was disciplined. This small action, repeated many times, became a big change. He did the same with listening. Every evening, he listened to a short podcast for 5 minutes and wrote 1 sentence. He understood. Slowly, his ear became stronger. Discipline gave him progress when motivation was low. Adil's 3rd merit was kindness. When another classmate made a mistake, some students laughed. Adil did not laugh. He smiled and said, It's okay. We all make mistakes. Try again. Because of this, classmates started to practice speaking with him. They felt safe. When people feel safe, they try more. When they try more, they learn faster. One shy classmate asked Adil to practice after class. They read a short dialogue together every day for 1 week. At the end of the week, both of them spoke more confidently. Kindness attracted friends and created a small learning team. This team gave feedback, shared notes, and celebrated small wins. Adel's results were not magic. They were the product of merits used daily. Now I want you to think about your own life. Pause the video for 5 seconds and ask yourself, can you think of one time your good quality helped you in life? Maybe your honesty solved a problem. Maybe your patience helped you finish a long task. Maybe your curiosity pushed you to read one more page. And that page gave you a new idea. Hold that memory for a moment. Feel it. This is proof that your merits are not theory. They are real. They already work for you. When you see this clearly, you will trust yourself more, and you will be ready to use your merits for English learning. 2. How can English learners use their merits? If you are patient, you can practice longer without getting angry at yourself. You can repeat the same sentence 10 times and still stay calm. Patience is a quiet engine. If you are curious, you can learn faster because you always ask why and how. You do not stop at the first answer, you explore. Curiosity makes learning fun. If you are disciplined, you make a routine. You study at the same time every day, even for a short period, and your brain starts to expect learning. If you are kind, you will find partners to practice with, because people enjoy speaking with you. If you are brave, you will speak even when you are not perfect, and speaking will make you better. If you are organized, you will keep a small notebook of new words, and you will review them each week. Each merit is a learning strategy in disguise. When you name the merit, you can turn it into an action plan. But what if you say, I don't have these merits? I am not patient. I am not disciplined. My friends, merits are not only natural gifts. They can also be developed step by step. Think of discipline like a muscle. White. If it feels weak today, give it a small weight. Do 2 minutes of study, not 2 hours. Keep the promise to yourself. Tomorrow, do 3 minutes. The next week, do 5. Slowly, the muscle grows. King. Think of patience like a skill. When you feel angry at a difficult sentence, breathe for 3 seconds. Relax your shoulders and try again. Every time you choose to stay calm, you build the skill, All. Kindness can grow with one small action. Send a helpful message to a classmate. Say good job when someone tries, or share a useful link. Honesty can grow by admitting one small thing. You don't understand and asking a question. These are not big, noisy actions. They are small, quiet steps that add up. Let us connect this to daily practice. Take a paper and draw 2 columns. On the left, write my merits. On the right, write my actions. If your merit is curiosity, your action might be: search one new English topic each day for 5 minutes. If your merit is patience, your action might be: repeat today's sentences 10 times without rushing. If your merit is discipline, your action might be: study at 8 p.m. every day for 10 minutes. If your merit is kindness, your action might be: find a practice partner and encourage them. Now your merits are not just ideas. They are tools in your hand. You can use them today, not someday. There is one more reason why knowing your merits is important. When you know what you are good at, you can build your learning around that strength. This makes learning feel easier and more enjoyable. If you love stories, use stories to learn grammar and vocabulary. If you love music, use songs to practice listening and pronunciation. If you love teaching others, explain a new word to a friend. Teaching will make you remember it better. When your study method matches your merits, you will not fight yourself. You will flow with your nature, and progress will feel natural, not heavy. So remember Adil's journey. He was not special at the start. He became special by using what he already had: honesty, discipline, and kindness. He did not wait for perfect conditions. He used small merits on small ways, and small ways created big results. You can do the same. Start by naming one merit today. Use it in one action today. Then do it again tomorrow. If you keep going, your merits will open the path, your confidence will grow, and your English will begin to change, not in one big jump, but in many small, steady steps that you can be proud of. Chapter 10: Why Demerits Can Become Our Teachers. My friends, now we arrive at something very important: our demerits. When we hear the word weakness or demerit, we usually feel something negative. We feel embarrassed. We feel small. We feel that something is wrong with us. But I want you to stop and listen carefully. Your demerits are not only bad. They are actually teachers. They show you clearly where you need to improve. They are like mirrors. When you look in the mirror, you see both your beautiful parts and also the parts that need care. Demerits are the same. They are not your enemies. They are signals, they are lessons, and they can guide you to become stronger. Let me give you some simple examples. Many students fear speaking English. They know some words, they understand their teacher, they even write their homework, but when it is time to speak, their mouth closes. They feel nervous, they feel afraid of mistakes, they feel other people will laugh. This fear is a demerit, but what does it teach you? It teaches you that you need more practice in speaking, not just reading. It shows you that you must build confidence step by step. Without this demerit, maybe you would never know that confidence is your missing piece. Another example is shyness. Some learners are shy, very shy. They don't want to raise their hand in class. They don't want to talk in front of others. They prefer silence. At first, you may think this is only a weakness. But if you look deeper, you can see the lesson. Shyness teaches you that you must practice in smaller, safer spaces. Before you go to bigger spaces, for example, you can start by speaking alone in front of a mirror. Then, speak to one friend. Then, to two friends. Slowly, your circle becomes bigger. The shyness shows you the path. Start small, grow slowly. Without shyness, maybe you would not learn this strategy. Another common demerit is giving up too quickly. Maybe you start to learn English full of energy. Day 1, you study 2 hours. Day 2, you study 1 hour. Day 3, you feel tired, and you stop. After 1 week, you forget your plan. This is a demerit. But again, it is also a teacher. It teaches you that you need to start out smaller, with short daily habits. It teaches you that big jumps are not sustainable, but small, consistent steps are. Without the experience of giving up, maybe you would not learn how to continue. B. Now let me share a story to make this idea real. There was a girl named Sarah. Sarah was extremely shy. In school, she never spoke in English class. Her teacher sometimes asked her a question, and she looked down. She wanted to speak, but her voice stayed silent. This shyness was her biggest demerit. For many months she suffered. But one day, she decided to make a small change. She told herself, "I will not become fluent in one day, but I can speak one sentence today." So, she stood in front of her mirror at night and said, "My name is Sarah. That has it. One sentence." The next day, she added, "I am a student." Then, "I like reading." Every day, she added one more sentence. After 2 weeks, she could speak 10 sentences in a row. She felt proud. Then, she went to her teacher and said, "Can I read one line from the book?" The teacher was surprised and happy. Slowly, Sarah read more, and after some months, she even gave a short speech in class. Her demerit of shyness became her biggest strength. Because she understood it, she found a way to overcome it. Today, she is not just confident. She is inspiring other students. Do you see? A demerit is not permanent. It can change. It can transform. Now I want you to pause for 5 seconds. Think of one weakness you have in English. Maybe it is fear of speaking. Maybe it is forgetting words quickly. It is not practicing every day. Close your eyes and imagine. What will happen if you improve this weakness just a little every day? If your fear reduces only. By Fern Drew this week, how will you feel? If you remember just 3 more words each day, what will happen after 1 month? What if you practice speaking only 2 minutes daily? What will happen after 6 months? This imagination is powerful. It shows you that small steps on your demerits can bring big changes. You see, demerits are not permanent. They are not written in stone. They are like shadows. A shadow looks dark, but it only exists because there is light nearby. If you move towards the light, the shadow changes shape. It becomes smaller, and sometimes it disappears. Your weaknesses are the same. They are not the end of your story. They are signals of where the light of improvement is waiting. Many students think, "I am shy, so I will always be shy." "I am lazy, so I will always be lazy." This is not true. Shyness can become confidence with small practice. Laziness can become discipline with small routines. Nisam hair, fear can become courage with small, brave actions. Overthinking can become focus. When you train your mind gently, the transformation is possible, but only if you see your demerits as teachers, not enemies. Enemy. Let me give you another picture. Imagine your life is like a classroom. Your merits are your friendly teachers. They encourage you, they give you rewards, they clap when you succeed. But your demerits are also teachers. They are strict. They point out your mistakes. They show you what you did wrong. At first, you don't like them. But later they realize they taught you the most important lessons. Without them, you would never grow. Both teachers are needed. So, my friends, the next time you feel your weakness, don't run away. Don't say, I am hopeless. Instead, ask, what is this weakness teaching me? What small step can I take to improve it? When you start asking this question, your demerits will guide you. They will no longer be heavy chains. They will become stepping stones, and every step will take you closer to your best self and closer to the English you dream of speaking. Remember, your demerits are shadows, but shadows can turn into light. You only need courage, patience, and small daily actions. Chapter 2. How to balance merits and demerits in daily life. Life is never about being perfect. It is not about having only good qualities or completely removing every weakness. Real life is about balance. Just like day and night, happiness and sadness, strengths and weaknesses, also live together inside us. The secret is not to fight against one side, but to understand both and use them wisely. When we learn to balance our merits and demerits, life becomes easier and growth becomes possible. Think of yourself like a coin. One side is your merits, your honesty, kindness, discipline, patience, or curiosity. The other side is your demerits, your laziness, fear, overthinking, or shyness. If you throw away one side, the coin will lose its value. In the same way, if you ignore either your merits or your demerits, you will not see the complete picture of yourself. Balance is the key. Now let us think about how to practice this balance in daily life. One simple method is to write down 2 merits and 2 demerits about yourself every week. For example, you may write, I am good at helping others. I am good at learning new things. But I get distracted easily, and I sometimes feel nervous before speaking. When you write this honestly, you will see your strengths clearly, but you will also see the areas you need to improve. This small habit can give you more self-awareness than reading many books. After writing them down, make small goals. If you wrote, I am good at learning new things, use this strength to help your weakness. Weak in speaking English. You can say, since I am good at learning, I will try to learn 1 new English sentence every day and use it in real life. See how your strength can work with your weakness? This is balance. For English learners, this practice is very powerful. Imagine a student who says, I am good at listening, but I am weak in speaking. Instead of feeling sad, the student can use listening as a tool. He can listen carefully to good English speakers and then repeat their sentences slowly. His listening merit helps him fix his speaking demerit. This is how balance works. You don't ignore your weakness. You don't celebrate your strength. You combine both and move forward. Let us pause here for a moment. I want you to stop whatever you are doing and think of 1 sentence about yourself. Maybe something like, I am good at reading, but I am weak in writing. Or, I am good at remembering words, but I forget how to use them in sentences. Write 1 honest sentence about yourself in the comments right now. This pause, this action, will make you think deeper about yourself. Balancing merits and demerits is also important in real life. Beyond English. For example, imagine a boy who is very hardworking, but also very impatient. I am patient. His hard work helps him study for long hours, but his impatience makes him angry if he doesn't get quick results. What should he do? If he only looks at his merit, he may think, I am hardworking, so I will always succeed. But when results don't come fast, his impatience will hurt him. If he only looks at his demerit, he may say, I am impatient, so I can never succeed. Both views are incomplete. But if he balances, he will say, yes, I am hardworking, but I need to practice patience. If I stay patient, my hard work will bring success. This balance saves him from both pride and hopelessness. Another example. Imagine a girl who is very kind but also shy. Her kindness brings her many friends, but her shyness stops her from speaking in public. If she only sees her kindness, she will think, I don't need to change. I am already good. If she only sees her shyness, she will lose confidence. But if she balances, she will say, yes, I am kind, but I also want to grow more confident. My kindness will help me connect with people, and slowly I can practice speaking in front of them. Step by step, she balances both sides and becomes stronger. Friends, balance also saves us from extreme emotions. If we only think of our merits, we may become proud, thinking we are better than others. Pride blinds us. If we only think of our demerits, we may lose hope, thinking we are worse than everyone else. Sadness weakens us. But when we see both sides, we stay humble yet confident. We know we are not perfect, but we are improving. So remember this. Every person in the world has merits and demerits. Even the most successful person you admire has weaknesses. Even the person who struggles the most has hidden strengths. The difference is how they balance them. Balance is not about removing all weakness or becoming completely strong. Balance is about using what you already have in the best possible way. At the end, let me leave you with this motivation. Do not be afraid of your demerits, and do not be too proud of your merits. Instead, become a learner of life. Every week, look at yourself honestly. Write down your strengths, write down your weaknesses, and set one small goal to grow. If you do this again and again, slowly, your life will change. You will not be controlled by your weaknesses, and you will not be blinded by your strengths. You will become a person of balance. And remember, self-knowledge always makes you stronger. My friends, now you understand that your merits are your strengths and your demerits are your teachers. Both are important. If you want to grow in English and in life, start knowing yourself better from today. I want to hear from you. Write in the comments one merit and one demerit you see in yourself. Don't be shy. Let us learn together. And if this video gave you value, subscribe to the channel, like this video, and share it with a friend. Remember, knowing yourself is the first step to becoming your best self.